What has become of Pokemon? Pokemon has become an embarrassment. It's unacceptable. Though, to be fair, Game Freak is a small indie company, and Pokemon is a small franchise. Oh, wait, it's only the biggest goddamn franchise ever, and in the video game world, it's not even close. It's not even close. And this is their latest game. Most popular franchise in the world. Why does it look like a mobile game? Actually, no, wait, I take that back. Genshin Impact looks better than this. Destiny Rising looks better than this. And the gameplay, oh, what is... Let's talk about it. Pokemon Legends ZA is releasing. Today, actually, it's today. It is out today. Or you could have been playing it already because there has been leaks. People already had the game. Again, the most popular franchise in the world. They make billions and they leak data like a broken faucet. Actually, that's being generous. It's just a waterfall of data pouring out constantly. Gather round, get your leaks here. Want to know what we've got coming in 2030? Well, we got your back because we do not know how to be secure. Next level incompetency. And we haven't even got to the games yet. Now, I'm making this video for one reason. Because I was scrolling through X, seeing what's going on, you know, doing a little lurking. There's people defending the second biggest political streamer for using a shock collar on his dog. What won't they defend him for, honestly? But that's a topic for another channel. What I saw next was way more shocking. I know, that was a good one. Seriously though, someone needs to take that dog away from him. The clip that I saw was of a demon thing that looks like Starmie. It was weird gameplay where the character is running around aimlessly while Demon Starmie is running around. Honestly, that is nightmare fuel. But I saw this and thought, oh, you know, it's just another Pokemon-like game coming to mobile. Wait, hold up. It's real. This looks like ass, but it's a Pokemon game. This is gameplay from Pokemon Legends ZA, the game that comes out today. A Pokemon game that comes out in the year of our Lord, 2025. This is the future. You're just a hater. Yes, this is true. I do hate Nintendo. That is not a secret. I do believe that they are the worst company in gaming, hiding behind their very lovable characters. But this hits different for me. Pokemon Yellow is one of my all-time favorites. I love that game. I still play it regularly. I could play through it with my eyes closed. I still have memories of going to my nan's house on a Saturday night, meeting up with my cousin, getting out the Game Boys, playing Pokemon Yellow, and racing to see who can get the furthest before we have to go home. I also really like Silver and Emerald, but then I didn't get a DS, so I don't know about those games that came after. But then I came back for Sword, open world Pokemon, and it was, It wasn't the level of evolution I was expecting, especially in reference to where the rest of the gaming industry is. Which isn't surprising, Nintendo is always a decade behind. The Switch 2 is basically a portable PS4. £400 for a portable PS4. I haven't really touched anything after Sword because it didn't scratch that itch that I was looking for. It's not bad, and the open world Pokemon was pretty cool, seeing them run out in the wild, but it was just And honestly, there is just much better games out there to play right now. So I'm not a super fan by any stretch of the imagination, but seeing this was like being punched in the gut. My jaw dropped when I realized that this was actual gameplay from an actual Pokemon game. I am really stunned and shocked that Pokemon fans are accepting this. Pokemon fans can hate me in this video all they like, but from a guy that played the OGs, it is just sad to see what has become of this series. Firstly, visuals. What decade am I in here? This is a game that comes out today. Today! How bad do you think we could make it whilst also being able to sell millions, huh? Challenge accepted. Look at the grass, the ground, the dirt, windows, buildings. It looks like a cardboard cutout of a city, and that's being generous. Everything is just flat. It is cakeless. This whole game is seriously lacking cake. Someone in the comments said it looks like a PS3 game. It doesn't even look like that. If any of you are like me and you love your classic games, you'll probably have a PS2 emulator or something where you can play your classic games. Obviously, if you own the disc. And these emulators stretch the image and increase the resolution to make it look better. This is what that looks like. Even the Pokemon, the point of the game, the stars of this game, look like they spent all of 5 minutes on each one. Textures, there are none. The argument could be that this is how it has to look so it can run on the Switch 1. Well, the Switch 2 version doesn't look any better, and it costs £400 to get. It looks the same. This is mobile level quality, and that's not a joke. I make a lot of jokes, I know, but that isn't one of them. But some mobile games look better than this. This is a full price game, £58 here in the UK, $70 in the US. And this is the level of quality you're getting. It's embarrassing. Looks good to me, bro. I'm sure it does behind those fanboy goggles. Good lord. The Switch 2 can run Cyberpunk, by the way. Not well, but it works. Game Freak are also making another game for Switch 2 that actually looks good, so what the hell is going on here? It is just laziness. Looks good to me, bro. And we haven't even talked about the actual game design yet. That is just from a technical level. The design is lazy. It's just blocks of flat buildings and streets. Look at this clip. Any movement? Any signs of life? Does anyone live in this city? The characters look like hollow shells, which they are, but some immersion would be nice, Game Freak. And the way they move is like a PS2 game. There's a Pokemon that way. They have a day and night cycle, so I guess that's something. Quality of fights look like mobile quality. They really do. That is the best way to describe this. The only thing you can really give them is that the Pokemon designs are cool, but again, the best ones are from 30 years ago. Maybe there's a story reason why this city is dead and looks like no one had ever lived in it. I doubt it. NPCs just kind of stand there waiting for you to interact with them. Their lives have no meaning unless you interact with them. Oh, hi user. I've been waiting a very long time for this moment. Please don't leave me. My life has no meaning without you. Even in yellow, they were fishing or something. Where's the guy hiding in a tree waiting to sneak attack you or something? Maybe that will be in the game, I just didn't see it. Just NPCs standing around. This woman is reading a menu, so I guess that is something. I really can't get over how bad it looks and how lifeless it looks. This is a 2025 game. Even games in the PlayStation 1 era made worlds that looked lived in. Just no sense of atmosphere at all. Oh, and those streets are all there is to this game. This city is it. That's all there is. And I don't know how accurate this is, but apparently the entire city takes about 1 hour to explore if you wanted to. Come on, man! Now, the point of this game is to go from Z to A in your ranking, huh? Clever title. Huh? You do that by going into a battle zone, earning enough points to challenge the leader of that zone, and then you level up a letter. I got some terms wrong there, but that is the general premise of the game. I also don't care because that isn't remotely interesting, nor does it make me want to buy it. But that is your gameplay loop aside from catching and training Pokemon. What about the combat? It's Pokemon. We love the turn-based combat of Pokemon. It's gone. Gone. Poof. No more. It is now whatever the fuck this clusterfuck is. Turn-based combat is dead. No one wants to play that anymore. Hold up. Got a call? It's Expedition 33 demanding their Game of the Year award. That's crazy. But Donkey Kong.
Shut up, bitch!
I really don't understand taking turn-based combat out of Pokemon. You could argue they're copying a little bit of Power World because they saw the success of Power World and want to do a bit of that. But even then, Pokemon Scarlet sold more than Power World. 27 million Pokemon Scarlet sold. 2 million more than Power World. But maybe Power World taps into a market that Pokemon doesn't. I don't think this change in gameplay would be enough to tap into that market. You know what, Will?
Slavery.
I joke, no, it's just a survival game where you can catch monsters. It also has guns in it. So how the combat works now is you run around like a headless chicken, running for your life from Nightmare Starmie while you spam whatever Pokemon move isn't on cooldown. You do not control the movement of your Pokemon, they just run around like you do. And it looks a mess. Why am I moving? I can't do anything. At least give me a stick so I can fight off Nightmare Starmie. I feel like I'm in a fever dream. I have to be right because that abomination, Starmie, is a nightmare. I know I'm not alone in thinking this franchise has gone seriously downhill. Pokemon Arceus and Pokemon Scarlet were not it. Not it at all. Empty, barren worlds, performance issues, awful graphics, gameplay issues. And Pokemon Czar is just not it. It is not it, bro. There is a serious lack of innovation. That combat isn't innovation. That is scrambling. That is having a serious lack of creativity to evolve the turn-based combat that Pokemon is known for. And that is possible to do. Look at Expedition 33 and how good that gameplay was. The dodge mechanic, the sheer amount of customization to the builds you could make, the visual quality on offer, strategies you could do, the composition of your squad, the quick shot attack. They innovated and showed that turn-based combat is still relevant. I feel like this is a move to take the Pokemon series away from that. I cannot believe that any Pokemon fan would be happy with that, but apparently they are. Does this this mean that they can't experiment and try new things with Pokemon? No, of course not. But the core mechanics that make Pokemon should always be there. Imagine if Battlefield just stopped being an FPS. I know there was a conversation when Palworld came out that Game Freak should have done what Pocket Pair did a long time ago. But Pokemon isn't running around with a machine gun with a Pokemon as your backup, whilst you've also got a sweatshop running back at base. I said work, or no one eats tonight. As cool as that is, it isn't Pokemon. Pokemon is catching monsters, training those monsters, and forcing those monsters to fight other monsters who have also been trained to fuel my ego. Oh, and catching shinies, that's pretty fun too. So I wouldn't want a Palworld-like game from them, but it looks like that might be happening. Information has leaked on the next bunch of Pokemon games, and one of them looks like you start out on an island and have to survive on this island full of Pokemon. Suspicious there, Game Freak, what's that about? That sounds awfully close to the game you're having a lawsuit over, huh? That's weird. That game will also have procedural generation for islands. Ah, yes, because that worked out so well for Starfield. Finally, we're out of that loading screen. That's a... Oh, god damn it, there's nothing here. They're also rumored to be working on an MMO, which honestly, how have we not got a Pokemon MMO yet? It's a no-brainer. Although that may be because Game Freak doesn't want to continuously update their games. God forbid. But imagine going into zones with other players, battling it out to find a Pokemon egg and get out of there. A super rare Pokemon egg. Or going into dungeons with friends and figuring out puzzles and Pokemon to beat till you get to the end boss where it's a mega Pokemon. But I guess running around aimlessly spamming moves that aren't on cooldown is the future. The thing is, you can't even say, ooh, they've got to be careful, there might be consequences. They might lose money if they keep doing this. Game Freak does not understand what consequences are, man. I'm sorry, did someone say money? No matter how bad their games are, they still sell incredibly well. 27 million for Scarlet, and it just about functioned. I don't understand being loyal to a brand. I don't. They're not a football team. No developer is putting their bodies on the line for the badge. They're not winning trophies for the club. No, they're just stealing from you, and you're happy about it. Do Game Freak really have a reason to go beyond making a cardboard cutout of a city? No, they're gonna buy it anyway. Barely playable? Gonna buy it anyway. We'll see if taking out the turn-based combat also results in maximum profit. I assume so. I don't see why it would change. So this is what the future of Pokemon looks like. Ass graphics, ass performance, and changing turn-based combat into mediocre action RPG gameplay. Now this is coming to the Switch 1, but future Pokemon games will be exclusive to the Switch 2. So after seeing this, are you foaming at the mouth to buy a Switch 2? I'm not. My advice is if you are thirsting for a Pokemon game, just play Palworld. It isn't turn-based, but it is fun. Oh, and this Pokemon game will have a day one $30 DLC, but I'm sure the Nintendo fanboys will still break out the knee pads for them. Still. Thank you, masters. I haven't even got to them trying to appeal to the modern audience, which is happening. One of their next games will be inspired by the Sustainable Development Goals. Maybe Masuda being banned from directing Pokemon games has something to do with this astronomical downfall. If this wasn't a Nintendo series, it would not have survived those last two entries. It wouldn't have. Ah, well. Just another reason not to buy a Switch 2. If this is the future of Pokemon, no thanks, I'll pass. Just like I have done since Sword. The good news is Digimon is actually really good. You want a good turn-based game with monsters, then that's the one. Oh, and it also doesn't look like complete ass. I've added it to my wish list. My backlog is pretty big at the minute, but I'm working through it. But that's it from me. I'll see you in the next one.